Hello fam, Psychic Kami here, popping on for another installment of Cosmic Conversations, what is sure to be one of the most enlightening hours of your day. Today I have a very special guest with me. It is Megan. She is, excuse me, Meghan Rose from Megan of the Rose. If you guys have joined me before on this, I've got a couple of things to set up before I'm ready to bring Miss Megan on live. I am super, super duper excited for this conversation. Megan and I have known each other for some years now. And in fact, we used to do these healing sessions together where we would come on live and I would do a brief channeled reading for folks, and then Megan would come on and share her energy medicine with us. And so maybe we'll get blessed with a little bit of that today. But give me just a second here. Let me know that you can hear and see me just fine. If somebody could please give me a mic check, that would be awesome. I've got a couple of places to share this to before we get started with today's Cosmic Conversations with, again, Meghan Rose. Extremely excited for this one. So again, say hi and let me know you can see and hear me okay. And we will get started in just a little bit here. Okay. So we've got a couple of folks watching. Hi, Joan. How are you today? Good to have you here. Joe, can you give me a mic and video check? That would be superb. Before I bring Miss Megan on with us, I would love to make sure that I'm functioning correctly. Again, my name is Kami Carranza, and if you're just now joining me, I am a channel psychic and medium, and every Sunday right around this time, I have been coming on live and sharing with you other folks that are in the spiritual community. And today we have a delightful person, Miss Meghan Rose. I'm going to go ahead and bring her on live. Joan says she can hear me loud and clear. Thank you so much for the check. And let's see. There we go. Perfect. And Candy says she's been looking forward to this cosmic conversation. Me too. And all of them, really. There's Megan. Hi.
It is so beautiful to see you again. Hello.
It's so good to see you again. For those of you who are just watching, Megan and I chatted for just a second, and we were starting to go down a really good tangent. I think that it's valuable for other people. And so we just kind of hit the pause on it and are going to start from here. So, Megan, for those of you who are new to you and to me, my name is Psychic Kami. Your name is Meghan Rose.
Yes.
Megan is an amazing alchemist and integration teacher, and I'd love to hear more about that. Cosmic Channel, who aids in Ascension, and Reiki practitioner and teacher, and not last but certainly not least, a harmonic frequency code healer, of which I have been blessed personally with receiving many times from you. So very thankful. Megan and I used to do these. Tracy says hi. Candy says hi. Joan says hi. Megan and I used to do these kind of like tandem reading healing things several years ago, where I think it was once a month we would have sort of a group coaching, almost. It's like a group coaching, really, where I would come on and channel sort of what's going on in their energy field, and then Megan would give a harmonizing frequency code, and it was just like
powerful.
Powerful beyond powerful for everybody, and not just for the code received specifically for that person, but like everybody got the healing benefit of that. It was just amazing. So this is where we were before I popped over to do a couple of things. We were talking about where we have been for the last 2 years. And I was just about to say to you that I've spent the last 2 years, really 2 years. So it's interesting to me that you've been on a 2-year kind of journey too. But I have spent the last 2 years inward.
Yes.
Shining my healing inward. And that's kind of where I've been. And I've gotten to a place where I feel like I'm ready to shine my healing light outward.
Yeah. And so what's interesting with that is because, like, I mean, you and I have very different technically different, right, stories of why we would have went inward. And mind you, I feel this is very collective as well, what Kami and I are talking about. But it came to a need, right? We were doing so much in this outer realm, and we're doing so much for the collective, as so many of you and us have that mission to serve. And then I really feel we came into this time where, we can talk about it as like a dark night of the soul, those tower moments where things happened in our lives where we were forced to honor the self. We were forced to honor the close knit, family things, life, balance, all of that around us. And again, literally, I want to use the word force. So, because it was a lot. It was a lot. We can call it struggle and everything that happened. Mine personally was like a mental health crisis with my daughter. So talk about like almost nothing else matters. When we go into these deep cycles, and I know again you did as well, Kami, something that was forcing you to, that's it, now it's me. And so it was a necessity for the collective to start to do this. What is it truly in my own personal frequency and aura and energy in life that needs honoring, that needs, it's funny because I recently came out with a frequency code series called Selfish. And I do a whole big spiel about why we're taking back that word, and why even in the realm of frequency codes, which are like really bringing in the energy of the word, why the benevolent one still, it's like self dash ish. But still they wanted me to bring forth this whole series. So it's like self-love, self-confidence, self-empowerment, self-discipline. And it was needed because the healers weren't doing shit for themselves anymore.
It's yeah, no, I agree with you. What's really interesting too is like I had this like download too around the beginning of the year that 2024 is the year of the self. And so I love that and this is one of the things that I love about you and my relationship with you is you and I, no matter how far apart we get, we seem to be doing the same thing. We're rowing in the same boat. We're,
Yeah.
getting, similar downloads. And I love that because for me personally, it's really like affirming for me to know not only have you been in a place, but as a result of your place, you also receive similar messaging around this is
Yeah.
the year of the self, and there's nothing wrong with it.
Hmm.
And in fact, we have to focus here. So thank
Yeah.
you.
Yeah. And
My so interesting Dark Night of the Soul thing. So I'm doing a Dark Night of the Soul class next weekend on
oh, wow.
Saturday. Yeah, I am
All
actually.
right, there, it's
I am
synchronicity.
actually, because because I recognize that's where we've been,
Yeah.
and
And again, I think it's just
mm,
important, like they're wanting me to say, like, collective, honor yourselves, everybody, right? Like, of course, Kami and I are here excited to talk to each other, but this is absolutely like what's been going on with our planet. Like, we can see it. And so really honoring your guys' process as well, letting the stuff that, I mean, I know we say this all the time, guys, but like letting the stuff that needs to fall away. And like, for once again, I'm kind of going to go back to that word, but being selfish. How can you truly serve yourself first so that you get gotten to the cliches, but so that you can then be your powerful, badass self and continue to serve the world? Because you still meant to do that, but this has to happen first, right?
it had
This
to.
has to happen first.
It was painful. So the thing that kind of kicked mine off, and thank you for being vulnerable and sharing. The thing that kind of kicked off my inward years was the separation from my twin flame, which
Mm-hmm.
was with a bang, and it was a very unexpected thing, and it really forced me to go back in to go
Yeah.
back and that's all twin flame journeys ask people to do that, to go back in and to heal what's in, that kind of stuff. And so that's what sort of started mine. And I have found, inward, shining my light inward, I have found a lot of other amazing beautiful things in there that I didn't know existed until I did.
Yes. Exactly. And that's the thing, like the revelation that will come forth from it. Like the things that I have planned for later this year, now that I do feel so much more empowered, so much more strong, absolutely have walked through many timelines. Kind of when I popped on where it was like, I'm feeling good because of what I just walked through. Like, and now I know where I'm at now. And it's not saying that we might not go through cycles. I'm still caring for a neurodivergent babe who is dealing with her own issues, let alone growing up. And so life is going to be life, but you do get to come out on the other side being confident, strong, powerful, right? Owning your, right? Everything that I talk about is about reclaiming your power. And that's what happens when when you crumble and when you go through the dark night of the soul. If you still hold strong and hold faith and still do your work, then you come back out stronger.
That's right. And if I can add this to that, I love that. Thank you for sharing. If I can add this to that, I also feel like if there's, if there's anything that we can have a light at the end of the tunnel too, I feel like as you begin to conclude a dark night of the soul, you also come into an awesome, awesome opportunity that doesn't happen very often, and that is creation.
Yeah, I love that. Yes.
Yes.
And that, and I feel I mean, of course, this is how we feed off each other, right? But there's this huge thing that's coming through. So like I get kind of with, like I said, with like jumping timelines, I very much feel I am in a completely different reality. But what does that mean, guys? Right? I'm still in the same house. I'm still the same mother. I'm still in this weird nebulous, with co-parenting with my ex, yada, 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 right? The world looks the same, but I'm not. I feel so different. So this creation, this word that Kami is using is so important for you all. What are you going to create? When you know that you've done the work and you come out of a whatever, whether it's a 2 years or even if it's one activation, because sometimes it feels like that, where it's like, oh my God, I'm not the same. What then? What are you changing? You have to change the routine. You have to create a new. People think when we talk about timeline jump that it's all like, here's the job and here's your $1 million and here's the new house. It's like, you're the creator. That's the whole point of the life. So yeah, so be in that creation. So important, Kami.
Yeah.
Really
And
important.
thank you. And thank you for that. That's wonderful insight. And I think too, I think it's a responsibility that we have, once we make it through, is what are we going to do with the gifts that we found in there? And
Yeah.
for me, I am a wisdom sharer. I think that's probably my main focus, is to share wisdom. And I am out here focusing on, really for me, my dark night took me back into my childhood. And so I have, yes, my gosh, I've done so much work on it. Everybody's done so much work on me with my childhood that, I can't say I was done. I think that's a really big mistake people get into around their dark nights, to think, oh, I'm done. It's not.
Yeah.
It's as you and I have said probably thousands of times to people, healing is a spiral. It's never linear. You come back and you touch the same rock over and over again. But the thing is, and as you just said too, is that we're a different person now touching the rock.
Yes.
And
And what are you going to do with the rock? Is the rock heavy? Is the rock slimy? Is it a pretty rock now that you're going to
do
keep,
you
right? Are
do
you
you
going to
even
skip
want
the
to pick
rock?
it back up?
Right?
Like maybe
Hey,
you
there
just
you
want to
go.
kind of look at
Yeah.
it and know that it's there and move on. There's so many different things about that, but you absolutely are correct too. And I think that's, one of the things that you and I sync up on with our beliefs too, is that of co-creation.
Yes.
It's not good enough to just, it's so funny that, that saying, give it to God, which I believe in, giving it to the universe, but it's not good enough to do that too. You have to put your own personal energy towards that which you desire, and know and trust, just like you did while you were in your dark night, know and trust that on the other side is waiting for you, the universe, to catch you and to run with you. And so
Yeah.
I love that you're here, and it's so nice to see you today.
Yay. One of
My
the things
friend.
yeah, I just want to go on that is it's so important, and I can like share an article with your people or something, or they can like, come on my page and find it. But
Yes.
it is super important because it's like something again that I just shared where it's like, you know, that saying, like, what's meant for you won't pass you by. And like my whole tangent is like, "Oh, that's not true." On an energetic, alchemical manifestation, universal law, it's not true. You have to meet it. You have to meet your greatness, you know, because that's kind of like saying like everything is fate. And it's like, I don't have to do anything. I can just stay on the couch and I can just not go meet people, and I can just, go crumble under the dark night of the soul. And I'll come out into this fate of whatever my fate was supposed to be. No, there's 10,000 different endings, right? There's 10,000 different endings, and you need to do the work to meet. And this isn't like a scary thing to anybody watching. It's actually, oh, it's 6/16. It's at least in the East Coast, so which is my birthday. And when you see your birthday, it's like synchron. It's like the
Speak on
biggest
it.
angel number.
Speak on it, sister.
I love that.
Yeah.
But
So you
yes,
can't
it's
just
so
crumble.
important. No, and yeah, and that's what I want to say with people. Like it's to me, like, this work really is play. It is my work, it is my life's work, but I'm endlessly fascinated by it. And the work that you do need to do on yourself on a continual basis, you want to make it more like a game. And of course, there's going to be many, many days that do not feel like play and that do not feel like a game. But the fact that we get to be here and living it and expressing it, like I commonly say, sometimes I just look at my fingers and I'm literally like that in awe of life. I'm like, this is pretty freaking cool. And I feel like that's the kind of energy that we should be in when we are wanting to expand our lives and when we are doing the work to heal those deeper wounds, is just to be in the awe of life as
Mm.
well.
So one of the things I've noticed, so I think you're my fifth guest, and one of the things that almost every single person has said, and I think every single person said it. Terry James said it last week too, is that the one of the keys to doing what we're doing is for this to be play.
Yeah. Oh, I love that.
It's
I'm
true.
so glad that, like, and again, it's all messages. It's always messages, but it really is, because what else is the point? Who just wants to do inner child work and shadow work and all of that? And I get that we need it. Don't get me wrong. Like, we will be in the muck and we're going to heal those wounds, but what is the point, right? We got to get outside and sit in the sunshine and do that type of work. We have to be in the energy of like that. This is a miracle. Because again, what's the point? What's the point then?
It is a
And we
miracle.
just let it be humdrum then. Like, I will just sit on the couch.
Every breath that we take is a miracle.
Yeah,
Every single breath.
fascinating too.
Yes, and so play for work, I think, is a really interesting thing too, because one of the things that's been coming up by sort of newer folks, because I also believe, and I felt this a couple weeks ago, I don't know if you did too, I felt like there's this fresh awakening happening too, with a bunch of
Mhm.
new souls coming online right now. And,
Interesting.
and have you felt the same
I
thing?
didn't I didn't particularly tap into like that as an
Oh,
essence, but like the newness of the energy again, like, and like I said, like, I'm feeling pretty good. Like, again, new
yeah.
timeline, Megan. But
Yeah.
yeah, I didn't tap into that essence. So interesting.
Yes, yes, tons of like new people awakening right now, right now. And so,
Wow.
oh, I don't remember where I was going with that. Son of a gun. I don't remember where I was going with that. But to back up though, many of those people are going through a dark night right now. And I love that. I said this before to someone else that for the folks that are just starting their first dark night of the soul, like you have help. We're here. And for those of us that have been going through it over and over again, now we have help because they're here.
Yes. And I
Everybody
think that
knows.
is so important. Yeah, like, I mean, anybody who's kind of listening, and when we talk about it
Mhm.
like being play and being in awe, and you're like, no, I'm in the muck, right? I'm the lotus that
Mhm.
has not bloomed yet in the mud. We get it, and we're not making light of those times and those years. Again, like we talked about, almost a 2-year cycle that both Kami and I went through. Like, there had to be a lot of rewiring and a lot of muck that we went through, and it does, for lack of better words, suck. You almost don't feel like, it's funny because just today I got this energy, this message that's like, stop waiting for the other shoe to drop. And
Mhm.
I'm an optimist. I am a half full, right? My glass is full, it's not half full. But when I went through this with my daughter, it started like that specific saying, and I never fucking said that. Like that's not my saying. And it just, but that's what it felt like. It felt like I never know when it's going to be bad. And that's like in a 24-hour cycle.
Yeah.
So we get into those energies, guys. That's life. And it's also, and again, not to downplay it, but it is, I do believe in this, where we did choose to come down and to play in the 3D. And I'm going to use the word play again.
Mm.
And to do things like that. Like I chose to be her mother. You
Mhm.
know, like we knew that we were going to team up like this. So it doesn't make it easier when you're going through it, but there is a greater light at the end. So just be easy on yourself. Again, do your own work, reach out to those that have been there and done
Mm.
that and are doing this for others as well, because we are here for you.
Mm. And thank you. And so to those of us who have been doing it, like I want to sort of resonate out a call to them too, that that like help is on the way. These
Mm,
new souls that are coming online right now and having their fresh awakenings, help is on the way to row the boat with us. And so and it it has been heavy to row the boat by ourselves.
mm.
So
And I think, and that's another thing, like when you're in it, you don't, and this is why the world that we're in, this Facebook, whatever, the social media is amazing. I mean, I remember like, I mean, I've been playing with energetics since I was a teen, but like really when I started finding like giant meditation groups and like before I opened my own and like the fact that you can just find these people, us people together, communities, and have these conversations and do things like wild mass group meditations or join big spiritual classes. I just
mm,
finished another Holy Fire Reiki Master Teacher class, and like those women are like friends now, right? They
oh,
got to find each other from all
yeah,
across the world,
yeah.
and it's beautiful. So do that. That's another big thing, recommendation. Find your people, stay in places like that. Find the people that have the groups, that have the communities, and make sure you're leaning into it. It still has to be, it still has to resonate. It's not like every single spiritual community out there is good.
Yeah.
but,
You know,
but many are, right? If Amy's having a conversation with someone, you guys can trust her.
same,
So
same.
yeah.
So that's one of the things that I hear over and over again too from people who are going through a dark night is one, they've lost their people, which makes sense
Oh
because
yeah.
that's the point of a dark night of the soul is that the identity that you have been functioning from, including your environment, friends and
Yep.
family, those around you, no longer work for you. You've got to find something different. You've either got to transition the relationship or grow the relationship or move on from the relationship. And so I find a lot of people lonely in this,
Hmm.
which is interesting because I find that that's sort of the opposite of what we need to be doing, which is coming together. And so a lot of people ask me, and I don't know if they ask you this too, but frequently I'll be asked, how do I find my soul family? How did you find yours?
And that's honestly, so I'm an introvert, so I'm just going to revert back to what I was saying, where it is social media. Like I have thought about doing like type of meetup things, or honestly, even more so, like starting to eventually lead my own, because I feel it will be more of like a gathering type thing. Like I know that I would be attracting
Mhm.
like people that are meant to be, I guess.
Mhm.
But yeah, so for me, it's the communities. I mean, join the big communities that you see, feel it out. See what the vibe is in there, right? See again the host, right? Like when you come into my community, there's like you go into the guide section and there's like 15 or 20 different like healings, like with my voice, with my energy that you can take advantage of before you ever come into my work, because I want people to have it. I want people to heal, right? And then that way you also get to know me. You stay in the group for a while, right? You post.
Mhm.
Yeah, you get to know the people. And then over time, it really doesn't take long before you're like, oh, like I recognize the other people commenting, or like, oh, I did join that big group thing. And now, like, I really like we've had conversations. But yeah, the other thing, I mean, if you are an extrovert, there absolutely is like literally like meetup.com, right? And look for the spiritual sites and things like that. That's probably what I would do. Like there's a witchy shop locally, and I'm
Classes.
like, maybe I'll go join some of their monthly things. So stuff
Yeah.
like that. But
Yeah.
lean into who you are
Mm.
with how it feels.
When I started going through my dark night and I was very much alone in that process, I have some friends that thankfully migrated with me. They grew with me, but very much sort of stripped of, I'm an introvert too. So it's not like I had a ton of friends
Mhm.
to begin with. Very much stripped of that. But I remember one very night a while ago, probably around when I met you. I was sitting outside meditating under the full moon, and I did a meditation for calling in my soul family
Mhm.
and seeing these people in my energy field as beautiful pink loving bodies of
Mhm.
light coming towards me. And I made a plea to the universe, please connect me with like-minded people, please connect me with like-hearted people.
Mhm.
And I was so very fortunate through Brad Waldrop.
Yeah, he's very beautiful. Yeah.
Yeah, he brought me and you together. That's how I found you. That's how I think I found Stacey Cannon Dykes, maybe even Candy Nichols
He'd
and some
be good for
other
one of
folks.
these talks if you need more people. Just
Who?
message it, by the way.
Stacy?
Yeah,
Brad?
message Brad. Yeah, he'd be great for one of these talks.
I would love to have Brad come on.
Mhm.
He is just such a magical creature. I will. In fact, I'm going to make a note now that I will give him a message and see if he would like to
Yeah,
do
he'd love
this.
that. Yeah.
Yeah, but that's kind of, the way that I approached Soul Family. And then from there, so very lucky to have met other folks who were out wanting to do the same thing. And so through that, you and I have worked for years now in the High Vibe Sister Tribe, which brought together over 120,000 women. And so
Oh,
if
what cool
you
again.
so powerful. And so, there is the opportunity out there. You don't have to be alone. For everybody that's watching, hit the follow on both of our pages. Go join a
Mhm.
good group, particularly the ones that we trust. We can tell maybe they're good people, and
Yeah.
get to talking. That's the other thing too, is like I had to get to talking to people. I couldn't. It wasn't good enough just to lie on the couch and crumble and ask. This is, taking it full circle to where we were. I had to co-create too, which was talking
Yeah.
with, which is having conversations, which is saying, hey, I like your vibe. Can we talk some more? Hey, can you
Hmm.
collaborate on some things? And so that's kind of how I worked through the lack of soul family for myself. Certainly was through Brad meeting
That's so
him,
cool. You'll
meeting
have to you'll
you.
have to tell him that like we brought it up on this. Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
I
He'll love
will.
that.
I will. If I could
It's
at
so
him
much
and tag
fun.
him, I would.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So going back though to Dark Night of the Soul a little bit, I think there are a lot of tools that folks have at their fingertips to get through it. And I'm not saying I didn't. I did. I had tons of tools. I met people like you and Candy and other folks, Ashley, everybody else, Carla. Oh my gosh, everybody else that has been here and is coming to the conversations. I met all of you, and you guys broadened my horizons on what healing looks like. And before I had
Yeah.
met you, I had no understanding of what frequency healing is. And I would love for you to expand on that a little bit and help
Yeah.
others to understand what frequency healing is, if you don't mind.
Yeah, no, not at all. And it's funny because as we were talking about like the like connecting to soul family, we had talked before we got on. I was so commonly with frequency codes, I'll talk a little bit about it. And then with this, where when I do a live frequency code, it's not one I've ever brought in before.
Mm.
And so we all get to feel it together, right? You're gonna hear me be like, oh, this is gold, because I get to feel it for the
Yeah,
first time
yeah,
too.
yeah.
Um, and
Mm.
so I guess, yeah, basically like a short backstory, kind of what happened is, well, I was doing meditations all the time. I was doing activations all the time. And so activations are a little different, or are different than meditations, where you're specifically within a frequency, like a universal source frequency that is designed to, right, activate within you basically your dormant DNA, your dormant memory. So with the frequency codes themselves, I always tell my people that they are remembering, right? This is not me doing something. This is not me making up words. This is me having dedicated my life to energy. The fact that I did remember my own gifts and now can facilitate, be a keeper and a carrier for these harmonic, I don't know, this is harmonic, the harmonic wavelengths from the universe. And when I bring forth a specific energy, so it could be prosperity or calm or happy. And so, like, of course, in a calm code, I'm about to yawn because you just get like, oh my God, this feels so beautiful. Happy code, you're going to smile no matter what. What does prosperity do? It normally brings like ching ching. And now since 2017, I have about 400 or so frequency codes under my belt, both in collective bundles, courses, as well as private sessions, which are very powerful. And it all started from me taking place in activations. And I was just in one day, and the guy that brought them forth was, his name was Gene Ang. And it was a silent activation. So technically the frequency codes are also silent, but I've always been called to, I call it a mouthpiece and a channel. I've always been called to come forth and speak and share the color rays and the way it feels and so on and so forth. But Gene just does like these 60-minute, I'm not talking. You're listening to a transmission with like almost no words. And during it, I did hear words. What I started to do was hear this concert, this communion with the Order of Melchizedek, the Order of Light. Like when I asked who was speaking, it was, we are the Order of Melchizedek. And ever since then, I mean, in that transmission, it was a lot of honestly quantum physics type stuff. And even my human, I was like, guys, how am I ever supposed to relate this? But I was getting the activation for how specific color rays in their specific wavelength, in their specific frequency, so like beams or waves or cocoons or grids or blankets, and all the different ways that they can come in, that's what makes up the code. So there is a energetic blueprint that makes up the essence of calm or happy. Or I thought today we can do like harmonic soul connection or harmonic soul family or like beneficial soul family or something like that. Because I was getting this vision almost to share with this kind of meditation that I have done before. You can also use it to like for clients. But for those seeking like a soul family, it would be the same thing. And if we bring it through with a frequency code, it will be very, very powerful. And so that's what they do. Just again, to go a tiny deeper, when the activation of the code comes through, your spiritual essence, your magnificent original blueprint remembers its relationship with the harmonic frequencies that's coming in. And all of the conditioning and the programs and the discord and the false stories that kind of make up a human life, they get to fall by the wayside because discord doesn't compete with the harmony of the universe. And so this is why my students, my clients have pretty quick shifts, pretty powerful shifts, even in just one listen. And so that's what we can do today if you guys would like to do something like that.
I would love that. And just to echo that, again, I've been on the receiving end of many, many of your frequency codes, and I walk away from them feeling like a different person. And I know after hearing, your explanation, I can understand why, because, if I'm hearing correctly, you're reminding us of who we are at a DNA
Of
level.
your power. Yeah.
Correct. You're
Hmm.
activating and awakening what's already inside of us, if I'm understanding correctly.
Exactly.
Yep. And it's just like this amazing thing that that you are able to generate as your medicine to the world. You generate, if I'm
Hmm.
understanding, this vibe, this frequency for us to activate and receive. So I just think it's, unless I'm misunderstanding, I think it's just an amazing thing. And again, I've been so very thankful to be on the receiving end many, many times. How can people find you before we get started with anything like that? How can people find?
Yeah, so my website is meghanoftheRose.com, www.meghanoftheRose.com. I am working on what I'm calling an everything page, where it'll be much easier to find like everything I do. But really the main breadth, like where I would ask you to come if you're really interested in like checking out, again, many free frequency codes, the ever beautiful Holy Fire Reiki, would be Energetic Arts Community, my Facebook.
Got it. I'm gonna post that. I think I've been posting your Megan of the Rose Light Alchemist, but let me find you said Energetic Arts
Yeah,
Community.
that's in my Facebook group. I'll post several times a day. We just did a really powerful portal of expansion free live. So I try to come on often for free lives. Again, there's a whole guide section. And then of course, coming deeper when you start to work with the bundles and the courses, it's just a whole new level of shift.
Yeah, you're amazing. People should join your group, book a session, whatever they need to do, because it's like this instantaneous shift that
And
can
that's the
be
thing is because, and so
instantaneous.
that's what I always say with people is like, you will, I say 90% of everybody feels the frequency codes come in. Often you're going to see the colors before I even mention the colors, things like that. And again, for the 10%, why I say 90% is only because we're all at different expanding levels.
Mm,
Everybody can grow to own their extrasensory skills and their gifts. And the frequency codes
yes.
also do that.
Yes.
And so it really is, I just like kind of spoke back, and I just want to reiterate it, that this is a reclamation of your power. And
Mhm.
that's literally what I stand for. It's one of my biggest thing is to wake up to who you are, reclaim all of your beautiful gifts, reclaim your worldly rights, and really get to stand confident in who you are across all realms. So,
Mhm.
and that is what the frequency codes do for you.
Amazing. So I heard that you might want to share with us, if you're feeling like blessing us.
Yeah, let me
You.
just I'm so like I said, so with the frequency codes, it's always a concert with the benevolent ones. And so I soul connection doesn't feel like that alone is like what they want is enough. So I'm trying to figure out what that first word is.
Mhm. It's time when you're yawning, I
Let
know.
me just recap this. So we're in the energy now. We're really starting. It's gonna oh, high heart. So we're gonna pick up when I say da 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 is beginning now. But just to Yes, okay, so very short. For those who have not done a frequency code before, you will most likely feel this. You're going to feel vibrations and essences and sensations and wavelengths coming into your body that can also make it so that what I call pings and pangs, which sometimes are like little needle marks, or like, oh, why does my elbow hurt? Things like that, because that's the discord that's leaving your body.
Mhm.
Harmony over discord every single day. So
Mhm.
anything that you feel like that, you kind of just want to go, oh, thank you. Whatever that was, you don't need to be in me anymore. Thank you for the harmony that's replacing it. Um, the yawns, the burps, the gurgles, the sinuses, all of those are energetic shifts. I will yawn a lot. That's one of my biggest ones. I call them parasympathetic yawns. What
Mhm.
that's literally doing is your nervous system activating and getting to go back into its rest and digest state, right? We're healing. Um, so you will see that a lot. Otherwise, typically, in case anybody's in the car, I don't personally recommend it. I do know people who do drive and do it. I just have to say I don't recommend it. Um, Otherwise, feel free, like you might want to, like my body might even start rocking. So if you want to do something like that, or your feet want to move out. Otherwise, I do say be in a restful state, right? But don't think like moving around like this is gonna like break the energy. It's not. Your body probably wants to shift the energy. With that, it's a benevolent, beneficial heart. We do want harmonic. So harmonic soul family, harmonic soul connections. So I feel with that, we kind of are opening up the realm to one, of course, harmonic is one of the highest energies that we can exist in. And then soul connect, right? So soul connections, if it's harmonic, it's always going to be beneficial, right, for us. So why connection, what I'm hearing instead of just like family is that, hey, maybe it could be romantic, or maybe it is client, right? And type of energy like that. So we're just expanding into like kind of the whole realm of what a connection could be. So it's nice. They want to leave it open-ended for us. Anything else? I think we're just going to go in. I typically will channel with my eyes closed. I'm going to do a big shift here. Okay. All right, my friends. Feel free to, again, if it's safe, also close your eyes. That's what I would recommend. Just be in the space, be in the energy. We're going to ask for all that you are, especially your physical body, to come forth into a state of relaxation and receptivity. We're asking for your subconscious, your conscious, your higher consciousness, all that you are to come forth in a healed, balanced, and centered state so that this frequency can reach you on all levels. And the frequency code, harmonic soul connection, is beginning now. Immediately off the bat, I'm hearing let go, let go, let go. Also, the energy of and message of do not cling. So they're wanting to say that this energy of do not cling is even like is on a lower scale that needs to be let go, let go, let go. It is safe to let go. They're literally showing me a net. So leap and the net will appear. It's interesting because one of the first things I'm hearing is that it's safe to let go of appearances. You cannot find your true soul connections if you are existing as the culturally created self. If you're existing as the self that masked in order to be accepted or loved, or the person who grew into a certain way because they were, told that that was acceptable. So one of the first discords that were leaving the body, and I'm feeling this like it's almost like a hot flash, but like a warm, hot wavelength is running down the sushumna. So it's very warm in the core of the skull, but then also the body. It's like the inside of the throat is warm, the inside of the chest, the inside of the womb is warm. So like the core of you is being cleansed of false appearances and the false need to act any other way than your magical, beautiful, full, wild, powerful self. We're clearing right below, I would dare say even still a little bit in the heart chakra, but kind of the connection between the heart chakra and the solar plexus. So definitely clearing kind of like in the lungs, in the rib. This is a bit of grief energy, which will come with letting it go. And even letting ourselves go, like not, letting ourselves go, but letting the way that we formed ourselves so that we could create these relationships. But think about the conversation kind of that led up to this. I dare say 85, 90% of your old reality will fall away when you come into your spiritual power, when you come onto your spiritual path, which means that it in the gentlest of ways, it was kind of like just out of survival. It was just an act. Like that wasn't really our family. It wasn't really our people. And so there's this power, right, between the heart and the solar plexus that is coming back to you. The pain of those old connections I'm hearing as well. They're bringing in, I'm feeling the frequency of healing itself, as well as the frequency of ease, which is really, well, I mean, they're obviously both very, very beautiful energies, but what a gift to have the frequency of ease come forth when first we are needing to release, right? They're going through such a beautiful process of like healing ourselves. Again, kind of what Kami and I were talking about, though, right? That you need to do your work. This really isn't the connections that we're going to find is because your true self is going to be revealed and is going to be magnetic. And it's worth waiting for the right connections when you are healed. But now the frequency code of ease getting to come forth is easily one of my favorite frequencies, right? I have a whole frequency code called ease. And it's interesting because this comes forth in a lot of like the prosperity energies, but ease to be yourself. Yep. And now we're going to clear in the gut. Typically, when we clear in the gut, that means we were hiding out energy. So excuse me, right? You are allowed to easily reclaim your power. They're bringing in massively beautiful orange and fuchsia energies into your life. You are allowed to use the frequency of ease to come into your new harmonic soul connections. So they're continuing down. I'm hearing that we're going right in, grounding, solidifying the healing and the cleansing and even the state of ease that needs to exist in your body. And now I am starting to like see visions of like actually being with people and being in social situations. And even in the online world, but also in real life, where it does actually get, I mean, think about when you really are like with like true friends or true family. It's kind of like that bonfire vibe, right? The like the backyard party, just, oh my God, this feels so natural. This feels so beautiful. It feels so easy. These conversations are flowing. That energy is emanating from your body. And we're radiating these really, really beautiful light energies. They're warming up the whole The eye socket now, like I said, the whole inside of the body is warm, but they're wanting to pay attention to the eyes. And I had just talked about this recently in another session, but when they heal your eyes, especially like the inner eyes, you can feel it kind of also like tracing back even to like your pineal gland. What they're doing here is they're healing your perception. So this harmonic soul connection frequency code and those other joint beautiful frequencies, the healing and the ease that are coming forth, are harmonically updating, upgrading, and recoding the way that you see yourself and the way that you see the world. It's it's interesting because it's almost like what I'm hearing and what I'm seeing is that it's almost like when you like we talked about almost like testing out the energy in like groups or places like that. And so it will still hold valid for that, but also again in like real life situations, I'm literally feeling like you'll almost see a brighter energy, like an auric field around, yes, this is the place, this feels good. Yes, this made sense. I knew, I trusted myself. This feels good. I can see that it's good. It physically like will be brighter, more beautiful, more vibrant. They are, when it is right for you, they are healing the way that you perceive the world as well as yourself. They're going like this, in and out, in and out, in and out. You're still very much healing your own image, your own self-confidence, your own conviction, and your beautiful, authentic self. And that is going to be the mirror that you will be able to tell that other people and places and situations are your harmonic soul connection. I'm hearing we're just going to allow some silence here as this really reverberates in and reverberates out. We're very much in a transmission and a reception state here. So let's go ahead and allow this process to happen here for a few moments. You are literally a beacon yourself, my friends. There is now a light wave that is wrapping around you. And it's really always beautiful when the wavelengths come from the core itself, from Great Mama herself, really the crystalline ascension timelines, the new earth energies. There's this very vivid, almost bioluminescent, but like golden bioluminescent. And it's wrapping around your body and then peeking out, shooting out into the greater universal sphere. And this is interesting because this is almost like the vision or the meditation that I was talking about that you can kind of use, or I used to learn to use for client attraction, for soul client though, for the right people. And so this is naturally now happening for you where your beacon of light will shine so bright that you will naturally, right, the harmonic souls that are meant for you will naturally be able to see you. And the other beautiful blessing is it's almost like this blinding shield where those that are not right for you will actually be a little more repelled by the light. It's too bright for them. They don't understand that frequency. They're not on it. They really can't see it. It's going to be much easier now to know and to meet and to be with the right people, including it continuing to be yourself that is the right person for you. Whew. I think we're going to go ahead and start to allow for the official transmission to taper off. I'm going to slowly come back down, come together. I'm personally being called to hands on heart and high heart. Wow. I'm going to go ahead and open my eyes. Woo! It, do you look brighter? Because I
Thank,
feel that you look
thank,
brighter.
thank you. I feel like you look different
Oh,
too. Let me regain my
wow.
bearing for a second here.
Yeah, yeah,
Uh,
guys, yeah. It just to say, I mean, the frequency codes will stay with you. I always have to do the taper off. It doesn't mean that the frequency is not still with you. Let yourself process this. Let yourself be nurtured, water, all of that, rest. Yes, let it unfold. But more importantly, I'm hearing like be that it's not even be the beacon of light. It's like know that you are a beacon of light and know that this natural magnetism is something that is within you, even more so now.
so
Woo!
thank you for doing this with us. It's always so amazing to me. One, just to come out on the other side of a healing session from you. I always feel like I've had some kind of, Lorenzo is saying he lost his sense of time earlier. Yes.
Yeah, yeah, you go places.
Yes, 100%. Like, and that's why I had to come back for a second. But it's always so amazing for me to do work with you because anytime I'm sitting in a code from you, my clairvoyance is incredibly activated.
Mhm.
And so I think this is one of the things we used to share too post code was sort of what I'd seen. And so amazing to me. I was having visions and then it would come out of your mouth. And I mean this.
Oh yeah.
I mean this. And so right before you had talked about perception, I had seen this giant eye looking at me.
Nice. Yeah.
Yes. And
Hmm.
then also just as you finished up with, the shift in energy, earlier I had been seeing these two sort of electrical towers with energy being exchanged between them. I
Uh-huh.
also saw a bunch of feathers, so maybe that's a sign for somebody else. And I also saw over and over and over again somebody doing this symbol, the heart symbol, which I can't do very well because
Yeah.
over and over and over and over and over again. And so this was incredibly amazing. Thank you. Tani is saying
So
that's really
beautiful.
special. She says she was breastfeeding her daughter, so I'm sure she got some great benefits too. That's so
Yes,
beautiful.
powerful.
Yes, so
Wow.
amazing. Thank you for sharing that.
Yeah,
Stacey is
thank you
saying,
guys for being here for it. Like I said, it's always a treat when I get to bring in brand new codes. Even afterwards, I'm like, why did I never do one like this before? And
oh,
I say that every time I have 400 codes under your belt, and I'm always going to be like, oh my God, yes, that was beautiful. And I just want to reiterate, like what you said, Kami, is that while all of our processes will be personal,
mhm.
they are just universal, right? They are source. So I'm a facilitator, and again, the dedication I've lived has enabled me to do this. I just want people to know that you are really activating your own power, and that's what this is about. I would love to, it's just stay in touch, anybody, if you guys have any really sweet soul connections coming up, hearts ones or business ones or friends, right? Because I guarantee, and with ourselves, oh, I wanted to go so much more into that, but like with, there's only so much you can do as a mouthpiece, but it made so much sense that they went within first and that we had to even find that soul connection with ourselves and with our authentic selves. And I always think it's funny because, again, these are not me. They don't come from me at all. But it always happens. I was like, how are we just talking about that? And then
Yeah,
this is where they're going to bring us.
yeah,
But of course, because that's why we heard that that was the code that wanted to come in.
yeah. 100%. It's definitely the collective's vibes for sure about, and I love that you were feeling inspired to have goosebumps right now, to leave this open to all sorts of connection. It doesn't just have to be
Yeah,
friend or romantic partner, and as you were working too, my mind was also thinking about, connection with my sister's children, and just the
yeah,
soul connections that we can foster and be a part of also. It
yeah,
doesn't just have to be friends or romantic partner. It can be parents,
no,
all sorts of people can
yeah.
come into our lives for a closer soul connection, just like you did with my life.
Mhm. It was so beautiful to be on. I mean, thank you. I just want to send some power back to you. What an amazing series that you're doing. You are doing the work to help us be connected to each other, you know? How it's just amazing. So accolades to you, Kami, as well. Thank you.
Megan, thank you for coming. Like, it's so special. And I've posted your group website and Facebook page
Thank
multiple times while
you.
we've been talking today. Folks, go over and join Megan's
Oh,
group,
I'd love to
follow her
share more
page.
codes with you, my friends.
Oh,
I'd love to share community with you, right? That's one of my big, it's energetic arts community. I actually want more people posting
yes.
in there and stuff and sharing. So yeah, definitely come share space. I can't wait till your next conversations, Kami. It was really an honor to get to do this because I mean, I get to play in this energy all the time, but when it gets to be in the spur of the moment, right? It's just, well, it's a gift. It's a gift. That's what we're doing here for everybody, right? And it's a gift to get to share it with you. So thank you for having me on.
Thank you. So tell us how folks can book a private session with you.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I the best way is through Messenger. I kind of like super old fashioned. I prefer to not have like a scheduler up or something.
Mhm.
I think, yeah, just send me a message. I can send you links. I might still have stuff up in my featured section. But my main, and so like I do have some private sessions up. But my main work, and honestly, what I feel, well, the private sessions, yes, they're obviously powerful,
Mm.
but I really work with many, many courses and bundles. And then when you're getting those, you're getting 20 codes, or like the Activations Academy has 95 frequency codes in it now.
Wow.
So it is, wow, I'm gonna be so excited when the 100th one comes up. I'm gonna have to do a little celebration.
Yes.
Um, but that is more so what I'd recommend. So like if you're ready to work with the codes and ready to activate whatever it is with you, then yes, come talk to me about that, and I can direct you into which course or program is going to be like, the answer, the key. I call them the keys. They're foundations. They're our backbones. They really do. One of my students, the favorite thing that she says is they're like cheat codes. Like anything that you're trying to work on, this is going to make it faster and better and quicker and more harmonic. So absolutely, come join my group. Send me a message if you're ready to work deeper with the codes.
Fabulous. I hope that people also update us and let us know as they've found their soul clan, their soul tribe,
Yes, I
family.
want to hear.
I would love to hear that too. I would love to hear some follow-up and feedback from our time together, Megan. It's always such a powerful thing for me when I get to like commune with you, because that's
Yeah,
really what this is. It's
ditto.
commune. Thank you. It's just it changes my life every time I'm with you. Thank you for changing my life, Megan.
I'm here for reciprocal, reciprocal,
Yes.
reciprocal.
Yes.
Love you as much, Kami.
I love you
Thank you all
too. I'm gonna
again.
go ahead and yeah, thank you.
Hmm.
I'm gonna go ahead and put you back in the waiting room. And thank you so much for
Okay.
your time, energy, and love today, Megan. So much love for you.
Much love,
We'll
everybody.
see
Thank
you very
you.
soon. Oh, y'all, wasn't that just the most sweetest, amazing thing? That was Meghan Rose. You can find her at her Facebook page. You can find her in her group, on her website. If you are feeling called to work with Meghan, I'm going to post several links right now. Go by, join her group at least. Go join the group so that you can begin to get a flavor of Meghan's special medicine in the world. For those of you that don't know, my name is Kami Carranza, and this was Cosmic Conversations. Make sure that you come back next Sunday at 4 p.m., 3 p.m., excuse me, 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, where we're going to have Miss Shannon Lane on. She is just an all-around awesome kind of gal. Shannon's a very wonderful friend of mine, and next Sunday, the 31st, is a very special day for me. So I hope to see you guys there. Sending you so much love as you go about your week. All my very, very best for you.